All right, let's dive right in. If you've been keeping an eye on the electric vehicle space, you already know that Chinese manufacturers are moving incredibly fast. But what BYD is doing with their 2026 Dolphin lineup, well, it isn't just about speed. It's a complete game changer for how we look at value, longevity, and choices in the supermini class.
Right off the bat, here's what we're unpacking in today's Explainer. We're taking a deep dive into two very distinct vehicles under the Dolphin nameplate, the pure electric version and a totally unique plug-in hybrid model. But beyond just the cars themselves, we're going to unpack some game-changing battery tech and a massive retroactive warranty update that has legacy automakers sweating. Here is our roadmap for this Explainer. We'll start with the full 2026 Dolphin lineup, zoom in on the pure electric hatchback, then check out the plug-in hybrid wildcard. After that, we'll talk Blade battery tech, that massive new warranty, and finally wrap up with our verdict. Kicking things off with Section 1, the 2026 Dolphin lineup. So BYD is pulling off this brilliant dual-threat strategy. It's kind of like a pincer movement. On one side, you've got the established pure electric Dolphin, a dedicated EV pulling a solid 265 miles of range. But then, right next to it, the brand new Dolphin G DM-i plug-in hybrid, boasting a massive 646-mile combined range. By dropping both of these at once, they're hitting the hardcore EV fan and the hesitant hybrid buyers simultaneously. Same class, totally different vibes. Moving right along to Section 2, the pure electric hatchback. Let's zero in on what makes this 30,000-pound or 30,000 euro hatch a genuine heavyweight contender against popular rivals like the Renault 4, the Peugeot E208, and the MG4. It all comes down to this number, 265. That's the official range in miles you're getting from its 60.4 kilowatt-hour battery. But here's the kicker. BYD is throwing in a heat pump as standard across the board. If you live somewhere cold, you know that is absolutely crucial for saving your range when freezing weather hits. Real world, you're looking at a very comfortable 240 miles. That is seriously competitive. Now, what is absolutely wild is how the interior space completely defies the footprint of the car. It's like a magic trick. Darren Cassie over at CarWow nailed it. He's 6'2", and he could easily sit behind himself in this compact hatch. Throw in a generous 345-liter boot with a split floor arrangement, and you've got a supermini that punches way, way above its weight class in terms of sheer practicality. But hey, let's keep it real, it's not absolutely perfect. Reviewers have pointed out that while it hums along beautifully on the motorway, the suspension can feel pretty harsh, kind of crashy when you hit urban potholes or speed bumps. And then there's the tech. It's got this massive 12.8-inch rotating touchscreen that looks straight out of a sci-fi movie. But it relies way too heavily on hiding stuff in deep, complex menus instead of just giving us physical buttons for simple tasks like adjusting the AC. Definitely a learning curve there. Shifting gears to Section 3, the plug-in hybrid wildcard. While everyone else in the supermini space is doing pure petrol, mild hybrids, or just full EVs, BYD tosses this massive wildcard on the table. Enter the GDMI plug-in hybrid. So how does this actually work? Well, it's got a 1.5-liter petrol engine, but it doesn't act like a normal hybrid. Instead, that engine mostly acts as an onboard generator to feed the electric motor that drives the front wheels. That means around town, it basically drives exactly like a smooth, instant torque, pure EV. And if you grab the larger 18.3 kilowatt-hour battery, you're getting up to 65 miles of pure electric driving before the petrol engine even thinks about waking up. And just look at the stats on this thing. If you go for that larger battery model, it supports 39 kilowatt DC fast charging. That's 10 to 80% in just 26 minutes. That kind of charging speed on a plug-in hybrid is practically unheard of. Plus, the boot space actually jumps up to 380 liters. That's bigger than a Vauxhall Astra electric. It even has vehicle-to-load tech, which means, yes, you can literally power external devices using the car's battery. Want to run a toaster while you're camping? Go for it. With prices estimated starting around 23 grand, this is going to seriously tempt people away from standard, non-plug-in hybrids. Let's dig a little deeper with Section 4, Blade battery and longevity. Time to peel back the bodywork and look at the brains of the operation, the highly praised E-Platform 3.0. Now, the real secret sauce here is the battery chemistry. You see, BYD develops all their powertrains entirely in-house. So instead of traditional NCM batteries, they use their own custom lithium iron phosphate, or LFP, blade battery. Why should you care? Well, LFP chemistry has extreme thermal stability, so it's incredibly safe, and it degrades much, much slower than typical batteries. We're talking an engineered lifespan of 300 to 400,000 kilometers over 3,000 charge cycles. That is true long-term durability. Which brings us right into Section 5, the game-changing warranty. Because BYD just dropped an absolute bombshell on the European market, and it lines up perfectly with that battery tech we just talked about. In January 2026, BYD announced a retroactive upgrade to their European Blade battery warranty, bumping it up to an astonishing 250,000 kilometers. For our UK viewers, that's over 155,000 miles. Basically, if the battery's health drops below 70% within 8 years or that massive mileage limit, BYD replaces it. And the fact that they applied this retroactively for cars already out on the road, that shows massive, massive confidence in their tech. Just look at how it stacks up. BYD is offering a 6-year, 150,000-kilometer general bumper-to-bumper warranty that easily crushes Tesla's 4-year limit and totally eclipses Volkswagen's 2-year warranty. And then you look at that 250,000-kilometer battery coverage, it just towers over the 160,000-kilometer industry standard. Now, there is a catch. You absolutely must stick to their official dealership servicing schedule to keep it valid. But honestly, if you play by their rules, the peace of mind you're getting is practically unmatched. It's incredibly easy to see why rivals should be worried.
All right, wrapping things up with Section 6, verdict and thank you.
So, what's the final verdict here? On the pro side, you're getting just phenomenal interior space, class-leading rear legroom and boot capacity, all built on top of exceptional battery tech and that unbeatable 250,000-kilometer warranty. But, there are compromises. You're going to feel those urban potholes with a slightly unrefined suspension. And the software, the over-reliance on touchscreen menus and the occasionally bossy safety assists can definitely get on your nerves. It's a crazy good value package, but for sure, it's got its quirks. So, bringing it all together, with a rock-solid EV and a genuinely unique plug-in hybrid both hitting the market at once, it really makes you wonder, can legacy European automakers actually keep up with this? BYD is throwing unprecedented value, space, and longevity into a single lineup. It is a bold, aggressive strategy, and watching how the market reacts to this dual threat over the coming years is going to be incredibly fascinating. And that brings this explainer to a close. We've covered the ins and outs of the 2026 BYD Dolphin EV, its wildcard GDMI hybrid sibling, and that absolutely massive warranty update shaking up the industry. I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone tuning in. Your time is valuable, and I'm so thrilled we got to break down this amazing topic together. Keep learning, stay curious, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.